Hi, I'm
Oh,
Timothy, and I'm here with a top licensed real estate agent, Cheri Anderson. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good, good. So what you been up to? It's been a minute. I haven't seen you in a while. What you been up to?
Man, I just been living life. Just just living life. To be
Okay,
honest, I haven't really. I just been still at this moment in life. It's the
okay.
beginning of the year. Just pursuing God at this particular point. Studying, reading my Bible more. That's been on the top of my to do list. This the beginning of this year.
Amen, amen. Are you setting any goals for this year? Any priorities?
Yeah, I honestly, it's so much noise out there. It's people chasing things that it really doesn't add value, right, to
Mhm.
them. And my goal is to just have a more intimate relationship with God this year. And so I just been reading my Bible, trying to be still and just hear His voice again, and let
Amen.
the Holy Spirit lead me. So that's been my main focus right now. And then also with that, the second thing is say like the second commandment say love thy neighbor as you love yourself. So I've been pouring into myself, just
Preach,
working
preach.
out and stuff and eating right because you gotta, the body is a temple, right? And that's where the Holy Spirit resides. So I just been staying out the way and servicing people because the other part is love thy neighbor as you love yourself. So
The golden rule.
yeah, just learning to be at service to people and lead with contribution.
Wow, sounds like a lot of personal and professional development. Really
Yeah.
spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
physical.
Yep.
I call it winning on all levels.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Because look, we when they talk about the house in the Bible, we the house.
Mhm.
And nothing will prosper if you don't put that work into yourself first because that's how it spreads to other things. So,
Yeah, I've always heard our body's a temple.
yep, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It is.
So, what made you get into real estate and be a realtor or agent? Tell me a little bit about that.
So I became a real estate agent like before the pandemic happened. I started studying for my class. And I originally started for all the wrong reasons, to be completely transparent with
Wow,
you.
you're being real honest. You go keep it 100 today. Okay.
Yeah, I started because like is a persona like, oh, you just come in and you make great money and you go to these lavish houses, you wear all these fancy clothes and drive the nicest cars. But that was like very far from the truth. And so I definitely had the wrong motives when I entered into the market and became a real estate agent. At the same time, I grew to love the profession and I just admire real estate agents that work hard and perfect their craft because it's so many different components you have to learn when you become a real estate agent. It's just not that you're helping people buy houses. You have to examine the real estate market. You have to kind of the economy. It's so many different components when it comes to it. So that's the reason why I started, but now it's like, okay, as I've been doing it, the people I help along the way has been really rewarding.
Okay. And you said for the wrong reasons. What were the original reasons? And then what was that turning point where you kind of liked it, like you said?
The original reason was I just wanted to make a lot of
Okay,
money.
that's typical. Make a lot of
Yeah.
money. Okay, I love that. That's real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause I graduated from Western Michigan University. My background is in finances. So before I started, I was working at Enterprise and um at the same time I was like trading options in the stock
Oh,
market and
nice. Sounds great.
I was,
Options.
yeah, dibbling into cryptocurrencies and stuff. And then I started my real estate course. And from there, I was like, okay, I can use the money I make in real estate in order to trade options so I can make even more money because I was winning
Mhm.
big doing that. But then I lost a lot of money. And then I got into real estate and I realized like it takes money to make money. And so that was not a realistic expectation at all.
What was the most surprising thing about real estate
The,
that you think that kind of like besides take money to make money?
Mhm.
Did anything else like pop out? Like
Oh,
I got to do a purchase contract or title. Was it anything
yeah.
that that you didn't expect?
Yeah, it was so many unknowns. Like, I did not know that you had to work with so many people to close a transaction. Like, you have to work with the lender, you have to work with a title company, you have to work with other agents. So you have to, work with agents and hopefully the transaction go well so you can work with them again in the future because I have worked with multiple agents more than once. And then a big thing that a lot of people don't know that if you're not in industry is
Mhm.
that the difference between like a buyer's agent and a listing agent, those are two different things. And so I was shocked when I entered into the real estate market, like just learning all those things and just using the knowledge that I had to just become a better agent too.
Mhm. What is the difference between a buyer's agent and a seller's agent?
Yeah, that's a really valid question.
Mhm.
A buyer agent is someone that represents the buyer during a transaction.
Okay.
So it's someone that has a fiduciary responsibility to negotiate on their behalf, also to present any counter offers from the seller, and then also connect them to resources in order for them to help close the transaction. And so that's the buyer agent.
Mhm.
The listing agent is someone that represents the seller. They help them sell the house. They market the house for them. Help them pick the right buyer, right?
Mhm.
Because every
Mhm.
buyer is not a good buyer, right? You got to make
Yeah.
sure you pick a strong buyer before you take your house off the market. So that's really important. So that's the difference between the two. And then also the sellers most of the time pay for commission as well too. So having that conversation with them up front so you're not misleading people.
Do most clients understand the difference when you tell them like I'm about to talk to the seller's agent? Do they like know what you're talking about? You got to explain. Oh, that's basically a realtor, but
Hmm.
this is their realtor.
Right.
You have to explain that or not really? They just kind of say, "Do your thing, call me back."
No, like a lot of times,
Mhm.
if they're especially first time home
Yeah.
buyers, they don't know that I have to speak with another agent in order to relay a message to the seller.
Okay.
Right? There's a middle person involved. So I had a buyer tell me, "Oh, get my offer accepted. Just tell the seller X, Y, and Z." And I don't have any communications with the sellers at all. I'm lucky if I'm able to meet them at the closing table. But
Hmm.
yeah, that happens quite a bit. A lot of times people don't know that we don't have direct access to the actual sellers. We have to go through the listing agent.
Okay. Do you think real estate would be simpler if there wasn't so many parties, or do you think it's all necessary because each person represents another party? Like the buyer represents the buyer, the seller represents the seller.
I totally think it's necessary
Necessary. Okay.
because think about it like this.
Hmm.
The market will be out of control if there are only just listing agents. They will hike up the prices. Nobody will protect the buyer's agents.
Hmm.
I mean, the buyers.
Yeah.
Nobody will protect them because they don't know how to negotiate, right?
Yeah.
And when I say a listing agent has a fiduciary responsibility to the seller, so they're negotiating on their behalf. So how can someone work as both and have integrity within that transaction? I'm pretty sure a lot of people will take advantage and try to earn as much money as possible because honestly, the higher the price point of the house, the more we get paid in commission.
Okay. Oh, that's important to say. You say that.
Yeah.
People don't understand that.
Yeah. So I do think people will take advantage of that and they will screw a lot of people if it was just
Hmm.
people in there that just had one agent for each. So I think buyer's agents are important just as well as listing agents.
Yeah. Well said. And what do you say to like like you mentioned the market? Like,
Hmm.
what are you seeing, or what kind of market is this right now? Because a lot of people asking, should I buy? Should I not buy? Should I wait till the summertime? Should I wait till rates go down? What do you think like the market or a potential buyer should do right now, or
I take this model from like trading.
trading? Okay.
Um, like I said, my background's in
Okay.
finances. No one can actually predict the market. You can speculate and you can guess, but nobody can actually predict it. So my thing is, if you see value in something, and every house is situational, and you have the means to purchase it, purchase it. But if you feel like you're not ready, because buying a house is a huge responsibility, and you have to have some type of stewardship when purchasing a house, then don't buy a house. Realistically, like if you're not going to be responsible, do not buy a house. But if you're ready,
Wait. Did we just hear a real estate agent say don't buy a house?
yes.
Okay.
If you're not
That's
ready,
being honest. Okay, if you're not ready. Okay, I like that. You're being honest. You're being
yeah.
truthful.
Why put somebody in a bad situation
Hmm.
knowing that they're not good with managing their money? Because when you buy a house, if anything goes wrong in that house, you're going to be solely responsible for that.
True. Yeah, you own the home. You are the owner.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And then do you focus on like branding yourself more or marketing? Like how do you like navigate this type of market and find clients and buyers and things like that? Is it social media?
Um,
Um,
in the past,
mhm.
the best way to reach clients is to call them, like pick up the phone, just call
Okay.
people. At the same time, this is just my prediction. I can be wrong. That is going to change because a lot of people get so many scam calls and calls from different people that now they have things where they can block and spam, like they can block calls, a lot of
Mhm.
people on their phone. And when I'm calling people, there's a system that say, "Hey, who's speaking? What's your name and the reason you call?" And somebody can easily decline the call
Mhm.
because I'll be like, "Hey, this is your real estate agent," right? So if you're not coming up with creative intros to get on that phone with the person, then it's going to become even more harder to reach people over the phone. I think the best way is just going out, meeting people organically, and say, "Hey, when you're having a natural conversation, I'm a real estate agent," or social media is a very strong tool because they they get to know who you are. If you're authentically yourself on social media, they can see your lifestyle, right? Because people buy from people they like, know, and trust,
Mhm.
and that's how you build trust easily, right? So if they're on your social media and then you give them a call, that's even more better because they know you already, and if they like you, they will trust you enough to let you assist them with the purchase or the sale of a home.
And their biggest purchase that they'll probably make. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's multiple ways. Honestly, I've been Ubering too. I
Okay.
meet people that way. Um, Also, I have a book that I'm gonna drop soon too. So hopefully, I get people from that because it's a financial literacy book. It's called The Common Sense of Dollars and Cents, and in that book, it's literally the foundation of the things and the mindset that you have to have in order to have a future and being able to be responsible with managing your funds and things like that.
Wow. How long did it take you to write that book? That's impressive.
For like a year and a half.
Did a lot of thought go into it, brainstorming?
It was some things that I've just learned over my life. I had a one experience when I was in high school, and so I was in foster care, and I used to have checks I used to get every month. It was semi-independent living. I used to get no, every 2 weeks. It was $269, and so when I moved in with my foster parents, my only thing I had to do with that money was save $75 out each check.
Did you do that?
No.
Okay.
And so when
Okay.
my dad, he took me to driver's training, and he was like, "All right," I think when he was gonna pay for it, he took me up there to sign me up and stuff, and he was
Okay.
like, "Where your card at?" And I was like, "I don't have the money,"
Uh-oh.
and it was like 200 and something dollars, right?
Mhm.
And then so I couldn't pay for it, and I was so ashamed and embarrassed, and that was my first lesson in finances. Like, he was like, "This is why I tell you you need to save $75 because you don't know when something is gonna occur. You don't know when it's gonna be an emergency that you're gonna need the funds." And it's just this situation. So it really changed the dynamics of how I
Mhm.
view money. So after then, I was very frugal with my money. Like,
Okay.
everybody called me cheap, but I had more money in my pocket than them. So
Yeah, with all your experience and the books and different things that you do in the background in financing,
mhm,
um, how has some of that helped you with closing a transaction or getting the client to the finish line? Because things could pop up, there's
mhm,
moving parts. What are some things that you've done to like, hey, I got to go a little bit over and beyond to get this client
uh-huh,
this home?
uh-huh. Because of my experience
Hmm.
in it helps me be creative and very think outside the box on when it comes to negotiating for my clients, right?
Yeah.
uh if a house appraised for overvalue sometimes and my clients don't have the sufficient funds to close on a property, I can leverage that extra the amount that's over the asking price
Yeah.
in order to, hey, give me the seller's concession so my client can pay for the closing costs. So it's you have to think outside the box. Like, I'm the type of person that don't accept no for an answer. So I'll sit on the phone and mastermind with the lender, or I'll call the title company. It's so many ways that you can you can navigate through transactions when they go south. So it's really takes a lot of brainstorming, learning from past experiences with clients, and then also learning off of vets that's been in the industry longer. So sometimes not meet a new agent, I would sit on the phone for them with them for like an hour and just asking them so many questions and picking their brain.
Wow. What resonated with me when I heard you said, I'll get on the phone with the lender and I'll get this figured out.
Yep.
See that? You'll go over and beyond.
Yep.
I'll make that phone call.
Hmm. And it's really important to have a good relationship with the lender, because the lender, they will help you strategize. Like, they'll tell me like, oh, you can do this or you can't do this, without disclosing the personal information of the actual the buyers. So a good lender will communicate and just help you, because also if we're successful, then they're successful.
Mm-hmm. And you may not want to answer this one, but you kind of told me before we recorded this that this year you were going to kind of work with borrowers that want to work with you, or focus on borrowers that like and trust you and things like that. Can you tell me more about that? How this year has like things shifted, or it's got a new game plan or new business strategy? Tell me a little bit about that, because you kind of mentioned that like, this year I'm working with people that want to work with me. Can you elaborate a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, definitely alignment is really important for me now. Last year I chased a lot of buyers, and because my heart is so big, I wasted a lot of time with a lot of people. And anything I do it at 110%.
Wow.
So I take time to study it. Like, it's been nice, but I've just been on YouTube where I'm reading material that's going to help me be a better agent. And I'm spending hours at a time. And I'm really doing it to, perfect my craft. And I'm not going to be perfect at anything, but I'll be close to it. So just the knowledge that I've obtained over the years, and sometimes, having conversations with other people that's been in it even longer, I may know a little bit more because I actually took the time. And I'm always have the mindset, times are going to change, things are going to change. So I always have that mind of I'm going to evolve as well too. So when I say that I'm going to work with people that appreciate the time I put into it, right? Because if you already know me, I have a personality that I really care for people, so people automatically trust me. So with that being said, it's like I'm not going to force anyone to work with me. I have people that haven't purchased a house, but when I call them, they know me by name.
Wow.
Right? Or I have, and just like with working with someone, if you know everything, what's the point of having me help you through the process if you're just going to combat everything I say?
Okay.
Like, it's just like, it comes to the point where if I have your best interest, and I truly do, right? Because I'm spiritual I believe in God.
Amen.
And I want to love people and do right by people, because you reap what you sow. If you don't want my help, then fine, go work with someone else. And that's just where I'm at when it comes to working with buyers.
And I've seen that situation before a few times where the realtor make the recommendation, but they'll call Uncle Paul or Sally at the insurance, and it's like she said the same thing that they said, but they could be real frustrating.
Yeah. And then wait, to piggyback on that.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you having so many opinions, it causes confusion.
Okay.
Right? It causes confusion. And then you're taking advice sometimes from people that never purchased the house, or people that never work with a transaction. So, and then you can't rely on social media as well, neither sometimes, because you don't know the accuracy of it. So just having somebody that's experienced because I closed over 50 transactions in my career.
Oh, wow.
So just having somebody that is well versed in the industry, and it's like firsthand, like you're getting it from somebody, why not take that? It's just wisdom at the end of the day.
And I want to just highlight that over 50 transactions.
Yeah.
The average realtor does 1 or 2 a year. The average.
Wow, that's tough.
If you look at all of them, because a lot of people are realtors, but they do something else too. So that maybe brings it down. Of course, a full-time realtor does more, but 50 transactions, that's really impressive.
Thank you.
What are some things that people don't know about realtors, like behind the scenes, or some little either you can share with the audience about the inside trade of a good realtor from a bad realtor, from a behind the scenes aspect? Do some of them put more time into personal development, other ones more time out studying the market, anything like that?
Yeah. So it's levels to this.
Oh,
right?
levels to this. Okay.
So
there's levels to this.
Yes, it's levels, because we have some agents that do it just for the money. And I was that agent at one point, right?
Okay.
But I was never that agent that would just let anybody purchase a house without giving my brutal, honest opinion. If the house is trash, I'm going to say this house is trash. I wouldn't tell my mama to buy it. So why would I tell you to buy it?
But that means you don't get a commission check.
Then I won't get the commission check.
Okay.
I just won't get it. But
That's real.
it's agents out there, because I've been on the listing side of things, that would tell I would be like, hey, this has foundation issues. Make sure you notify your client. It's on the seller's disclosures. And they'll just downplay it and don't tell their client the real deal. So it's agents that just do it just because they trying to get their paycheck, because we only work off commission. So we don't get paid until the deal closed. And then there's good agents, right, that they have their best interest in most of the people that they work with. And then there's great agents. At some point, you're going to become an expert at either buying or selling to the point where you don't need me. Now, that's a great agent because you're learning along the process. And so I like to tell my clients, like, after working with me, you're going to become an expert just like me. Because I'm educating them. I'm telling them things. I'm explaining to them in layman terms, because I know, like, they're not going to understand real estate talk all the time. So I'm explaining the process to them from start to finish, and I'm explaining to it over and over and over and over until it's embedded in your head. So that's what makes a great agent. I would say that I'm a great agent. It's like I said, I saved a lot of clients from purchasing a home, and the people that I couldn't save, I still let them. I support them 100%. And they call me a year later like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, told you not to buy that house.
Told you not to buy that house.
But that only happened one time, so.
Okay.
Only one.
Hey, you better listen. She told you. You didn't listen.
So, yeah.
Yeah. How has your faith played a role in your real estate journey? How have God and church? I know you said you've been real spiritual. How's that helped your business?
It helped me a lot.
Okay.
What the biggest thing that I would say that people downplay is patience.
Patience. Okay.
You have to have a lot of patience with working with particular buyers. Oh, and sellers too, because they're so demanding. And also just treating people how I want to be treated. Because like I said, like, you do reap what you sow. So if you do good, then good, you're going to get good things back in return. So I really just lead with, love first, and then I just lead with contribution. So I'll just be completely brutally honest with people. I have a lot of integrity when I work with people, and just my belief in God is just like, because I'm his daughter, and I view everyone as my brothers and sisters. So it's just like, I just lead with love. Like, love is the biggest thing that helped me. And sometimes it's a hindrance because, like I said, I hold on to transactions for too long, and I hold on to people, and I can show them like 40 houses. They don't buy anything, and I just wasted all my time and my gas. But sometimes in that moment, they just probably need somebody to talk to, or, some words of wisdom, or, encouragement. So I guess I did my job.
You hear that? 40 houses. Now, hopefully it won't take you 40 houses, but
Dude.
That's how far you're willing to go to help a client.
And this is real. Yeah, this is real. That happened to me a couple times.
So does the Bible mix with land and purchasing a home?
Yeah.
Or those, like, how is that kind of related?
It say that you're supposed to leave an inheritance for your kids. And God created the land, so he wants us to have ownership. If he's Lord, he owns everything here on earth, and we're his sons and daughters, which makes us a priesthood, a royalhood. We're supposed to have land. We're supposed to have houses, right? So what you do with it, is what you do with it, what you decide to do with it. And it's an asset. Once again, like, we have to take over territory.
So you could tell a client, hey, it's biblically that you buy this home because you need to leave an inheritance.
You need to leave it for her. It says that in the Bible.
Yeah.
It really do. Like,
well, I know he blessed Abraham with a lot of sheep, lamb, names.
Job. It's so many people.
Yes, so that is biblical. Okay, so you better buy a home. It's biblical. So with all your hard work and things like that, do you feel like you work harder than God intended you to work hard? Like, should you kind of relax a little bit, or just do the work-life balance that we hear a lot, or the boundaries? You feel like you overwork a little bit?
Yes, because there's a difference between striving and letting God lead you.
Okay.
And sometimes you have to work hard, but sometimes he wants you to rest and trust him that he's going to make a way. And so I definitely believe that sometimes I kind of just go my own accord and just work, because I'm from the city of Detroit. We have a hustle mentality. So,
Grit.
we got to hustle, hustle, hustle. And the more I mature, I realize that hustle mentality, like, it gets old, it's exhausting, and creates burnout. And God doesn't want that for us, right? So I definitely do think that there's a time and place to, work really hard, but also rest, because with resting also too is you let your body rejuvenate, you let your mind reset, and then you have more clarity when you're moving, right?
Yeah.
And I do think there's some truth in that saying, you work smarter, not harder.
I love that. Work smarter, not harder. We all have the same 8 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm. It's just up to you what you do with that time.
Who would you say would be a good fit for the real estate agent? Someone that's maybe thinking about becoming a realtor, and who would you say maybe wouldn't be a good fit, or this wouldn't be a good field, or maybe not the best fit?
If you don't have the patience to work with people, don't become a real estate agent. If you don't want to continuously learn new things, do not become a real estate agent. If you don't like to work hard, do not become a real estate agent. If you don't have the grit, tenacity, if you don't have tough skin, do not become a real estate agent, because you're going to be easily offended. And I think someone that is motivated, that has self-discipline, and that have the time to, and I will always say this because I wish somebody would have told me this when I first started real estate. Before you become a real estate agent, so you're not operating out of desperation, be sure to have some money saved up, because it takes money to have a license. It monthly dues that you have broker fees that you have, and then also you want to be able to make sure you can cover your bills for a minimum of 6 months to a year. I would say closer to a year, just so that desperation won't come out when you're working with different clients and you just like, buy this house because I need the money.
See, that was some really good advice there that they don't really tell you.
Yeah.
So she just dropped some nuggets there.
Yeah. So,
what would you say to a potential buyer or seller that's thinking about using your services? What would you tell them?
If you want to use me, I would love to help you.
Okay.
But if you don't, you don't have to.
Okay. Keeping it real.
For real. Like, I mean, I want to help people that wants the help, want the guidance, but I'm no longer in a space where I was never the type to beg for a deal, but I definitely just want to work with people that see the value in working with me and that will appreciate my service.
I love that. What mindset that would help buyers or sellers or agents right now in this kind of market?
That's a loaded question.
Okay.
I felt, because for as buyers, you have to be hopeful. Every house is situational. So if it's a house, what I've noticed in this industry, if it's a house that has been updated and it's in a desirable area, it's going to sell quickly off the market. So you have to be like not too attached to the outcome of things. And you also have to have realistic expectations, because sometimes what you want is not what your budget will allow as well too. So you have to keep that in mind too, and be willing to learn and to be guided throughout the process. Because if you're working with an agent, that means you don't know as much as that person do. Now, as far as sellers, sellers also, the market is changing, and like I said, every house is situational. So the house down the street may have sold for $300,000, but because you didn't do your updates and take care of the house as that person did, yours might sell for $275,000. So understanding the market and letting the agent guide you along the way also will help you to be successful when you're selling your house. So
I like that. That's some good advice, because a lot of people will, I know buyers will take their time until that home disappears and then they get upset, but they didn't want to go see it. And then sometimes sellers will get a little frustrated because the house down the street sold for X amount and they want the same result, if that makes sense.
I tell buyers this. If I asked them this question once we were leaving a property, I said, if this house go pending tomorrow, pending means that it's under contract with another buyer, how would you feel? If they say, or I wouldn't care, then that's not your house.
Okay.
But if they say, "Oh, I'll be devastated. I love this house," then I say, "If you love this house, then we need to write this offer, because if you have to sleep on it, you definitely won't sleep in it."
Wow. I wish I had a horn for that one. That was a real punchline there.
Yeah.
Hmm. What's the best way for like potential buyers or sellers to contact you if they have questions or they want to do a consultation and,
They can hit me up on all social medias.
Okay.
I am Cheri Anderson on everything. I have LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and also in this video in the description, my name and number will be there too.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm ready to work with whoever is willing to work with me. And like I said, you'll get, top of the line service from me. I go above and beyond for a lot of my clients. And at the end of the day, it's not just a transaction to me. We family, so I'd love to assist
Treat you like
anybody.
family.
Yeah.
Okay, before we leave, can you give one advice for a seller and then one advice for a buyer? Like just something random, generic. If you were to speak to someone right now, like what's something you could give them that would help them? What's something they need to know, or maybe an expectation, something like that?
I'll just say this for both.
Okay.
For both is make sure you have proper expectations,
Okay.
realistic expectations, because right now in the market, it's neither a buyer's or a seller's market. It's more neutral.
Okay.
I will say, so just making sure that if your goal is to sell your house, no one can actually determine the price. Once you place it on the market, that's a suggested price that you want. If it's a buyer that's purchasing the house, it has to be appraised. And so we're not going to know the value until the appraiser tell us. And then with buyers, pairing up with the right agents can definitely contribute to your success. And if things go wrong with like the lender or the title company, don't blame that on your agent. And just be patient.
Yeah. And one more thing real quick. You mentioned expectations. Where do you think people get these expectations? Is it like from online or just personal? Or is this something they don't really not educated with the process or do this every day?
They probably hear from other people's stories.
Okay.
But their story won't be your story.
Okay.
And then social media, everything is accessible on social media. And so it's a lot of information out there. And you just want to make sure that you're taking sound advice from wise people, not just, taking it from anybody. And definitely don't want to take it from negative people that's always complaining. Definitely want to just be positive about your situation, because you can speak things into existence as well too. So as long as you have the right mindset and you have a made up mind and you pray about it, I'm pretty sure everything will work out in your favor.
Amen. Well, thank you so much for doing this podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's always an awesome time, and love speaking. And
yes,
please like, share, subscribe. She's always here to help you. And we'll see you again next time. All right.
All right. Peace and love, y'all.
Peace.